Yeah, aloha and welcome to Rantings and Ravings. This is the first edition of its kind. I'm your host. My name is Alvina Gachugu. Rantings and Ravings is a show that seeks to complain in a positive way. All those pesky habits that people have, the things that really irk you, I'd love to listen to them. So remember, you can follow the conversation on Twitter at Alvina Gachugu, Instagram at Alvina Gachugu, or on Facebook. My page is Alvina Gachugu. Let us offload, let us vent, let us talk about all these things that really get on our nerves. I'll see you. Would you like to know what we're going to be talking about today? Find out right after this break. Welcome back to the show. This is Rantings and Ravings, and I'm your host, Alvina Gachugu. Remember, you can engage in the social media platforms. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matters of particular concern. If you can find a solution, well and good. If not, at least we got it out of our system. I'll see you. So today, I really need to rant about mediocrity. Listen to the word. Mediocrity. Sound effects. Mediocrity. It has such an ominous feeling to it. Why do we start things, then leave them halfway? Why do we become complacent? Why do we start something and get tired along the way and get relaxed and leave it at that? You start learning how to play a particular instrument. After a few basic chords, you let it go at that. You start learning a particular skill. After you reach a particular point, you don't want to go on after that. You get tired, you settle. Why is this? Why do we always settle? We have so many great performances and still we have lackluster performances in our productions. We have people who don't really fit a certain qualification. But for example, since they're related to whoever is hiring, they get away with it. Why is this? Mediocrity. Why do we always be complacent? Why are we always just content with being average, with being the mean? For example, you know you are a boss somewhere, but you employ someone who is a half-baked student because you're related. Nepotism, shindwe. Why? Why always, every time we see there are so many great productions, but the people in the cast are normally people who already, they've made a name for themselves, or people who know the producer directly. And so at the end of the day, you get a lackluster performance because they know, I can get any performance either way. I can get away with anything. Instead of giving space to new talent, those that will blossom, those that will grow before our eyes, those that we can enjoy as they give out their very best. If you're watching back home, what is that you started but left it halfway because maybe you were too afraid to finish? Maybe you got tired along the way. Maybe someone brought you down. You know what we say about mediocrity? You should always strive for excellence. Do not let the insecurities of other people and the way they don't believe in themselves affect you in your journey and what you're doing. If you've started something, finish it. Do it to your excellence. Do it to the very best. Don't settle for anything less so that you can make other people feel better about themselves. That is never supposed to be the case. Mediocrity is just such a bad word because, for example, you get a whole stage to perform on, but then you barely use a quarter of the stage and you're calling yourself a performer. Really? You have been given a whole platform. Use your stage. And in this case, life is your stage. Use it well. Use it wisely. Whichever talent you've been given, we've all been gifted differently. Use your talents to the very best. If it's karate you started learning, do it till the end. Learn everything at the best of your ability so that you can also be a teaching aid to other people. Don't be complacent. Don't be content with just being, as we're saying today, mediocre. For example, we have these people that ride motorbikes and carry people on them. They call themselves certified motorcycle drivers. Yet, somebody maybe picked up their hobby just 2 days around the estate and automatically became a motorcycle driver. Really? And then you're the one who goes around causing accidents because you've not really gotten a legitimate license. You've just ridden it as a hobby a couple of days and you're already carrying people and you don't know the rules, you don't know the things, the safety precautions, but you need to make ends meet, as you say. So you risk the life of others because of your mediocrity. Now people die. Really? No, mediocrity should never be an excuser for anything. always strive for excellence. And as we're talking about mediocrity, this includes things like courtesy. Do not be kind halfway in anything you're doing, in any career you're in, and everything as you relate to people. Always remember to be 100% kind, 100% courteous. It reminds me, yesterday at 1:24 a.m., someone called me a wrong number, 1:24 a.m. At that time, I'd left my phone so far from the bed so that when the alarm rings, at least I could get up and go to switch it off so that I could get up. You get me? So this person has the nerve, after finding out it's a wrong number, to just cut the call. And it's not just me. It happens to a lot of us. You call someone, it's a wrong number. Instead of politely saying, oh, sorry, it's a wrong number, and cutting the call, ending it professionally, you just end it halfway, just like that. You leave the person hanging. Or these people who keep on flashing you, it's a wrong number. They call you, you go to pick, they cut the call. They call you again, they cut the call. What is all this? Why can't we just be courteous, 100% courteous? Today is just about everything 100%. Whatever you're doing, whichever job you're doing, do not do 50%, do not do 40%, do not do 10%, do not do 2%, don't even do 90%. Try and give it your very best. Do 100%, because there's nothing as bad as just settling for anything less than what you were meant to do. You are made for greatness. As we'll find out as the show goes on, you'll see you're capable of so much more. So before you get relaxed and you're okay, oh, at least I know a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, you'll find out why you need to know. At least be a master in that one thing. Know it well, perfect your craft, be excellent in whichever field that you are in. And don't be the person that goes for tribalism, nepotism in the name of excellence. And then you end up having mediocre stuff, mediocre products. And with that, let's move on to a segment I like to call Unsolicited Advice. After ranting about mediocrity, it's good we find a solution, right? As I said, we try to find the positive aspects of these complaints that we have. So you didn't ask for my advice, but I will give it anyway. These are the 2 N's, 2 C's, and 1 A that you should always follow so that you can avoid being mediocre. 1, never settle. Never settle for anything less than what you deserve. I remember there's a time I was in a theater company where always the same people got the main characters, and you're always in the group scenes. You are an ad-lib. Every time your work was just, yes? No? What? Oh my. Those were your lines. So you had to master your lines as the main characters were mastering their own lines. And I never really got a chance to blossom when I was there. And so the other day when I was performing somewhere else, a friend of mine who we were with together at that theater company told me, oh, you've really changed. And that time, you haven't changed a bit. You just didn't get that chance to grow when you were there. So if you're somewhere and you're not content with where you are, get out. Never settle. Life is too short. You have to be somewhere where it gives you that chance to keep on going a step higher each day. Don't settle for anything less than what you deserve. Like I know some music groups, you'll ask them to perform at your event and they will tell you without batting an eye. People like Sauti Sol, Elani, they'll tell you without batting an eye, 300,000 or 800,000. They just quote big numbers because they know they're worth that and so much more. So please do not settle for anything less than what you deserve. I have a friend in the advertising industry who told me that once people know you're pro bono, once people know you can do an advert for free, they will always use you to do adverts for free. So people will be seeing your face on telly thinking, oh wow, she's getting money, he's getting money, wow, he's on a billboard. And that time you're getting nothing and people have high expectations of you. They expect you to fulfill so much and you can't live up to that because you settled, because you know you're good, but then you settled on mediocre pay, meager pay. Really, don't settle, okay? That's the first N, never settle. Number 2, never climb a mountain to reach halfway. This is self-explanatory. You do not start climbing a mountain to reach halfway. You've embarked on the journey of getting on the mountain so that you can reach the summit. Yet, once you reach the middle, you get tired. You're like, oh, no, I can't do this. I'm okay where I am. At least I got to the middle. We always comfort ourselves with mediocrity. You know, at least I'm better off than someone who hasn't even started the mountain. Well, it could be true, but you can still be better off than where you are at the time. You can't stand climbing a tree, reach the middle and be complacent with that particular level. You will fall, oh my. You have to reach the very top, then get back if you want to get back down, of course. Be systematic in your journey. So that is the second important N you should live by. Never climb a mountain to reach the middle. You have to strive for the summit. As I always say, hashtag greater heights. Every time you want to talk about what you'd like to accomplish, your vision, just use the hashtag greater heights, okay? Then, the next unsolicited advice I'm giving you today is number 3 and the first C that you should live by. Courtesy costs nothing. As I said, whatever you do, even if you're striving for excellence, always remember to be kind to one another. Always remember to be courteous. Always remember, do not step on people to get to where you want to be. No, that is part of mediocrity to me, because you're less of a human when you do that. You should be 100% kind, 100% human, and 100% excellent. That is my word on that. Number 4, compete with yourself. This is a very, very important element. In this life, we make the mistake of competing with people. Do not compete with anyone, because we are all made differently and unique. And that is what makes the world such a beautiful place. Always compete with only you. Strive to be better than the last time. Every time, challenge yourself. If you got 90 this time, try to get 91 next time. 92 the other time, 93. It's a journey, step by step. Hashtag baby steps, okay? Do not compete with other people, because then you'll become frustrated. Everyone has their own different talents, their own different hobbies. If you're always trying to compete with other people, you get frustrated, because we don't have the same backgrounds, we don't have the same upbringing, we don't have the same, we're not functioned in the same way, okay? So please just compete with you and only you, because you are the best at what you do. Number 5, and the most important, the A that I will always tell you every time. Always, and I mean always. Raise your hand like this. Raise your hand. Always watch Rantings and Ravings. And that includes not going away after this break. Welcome back to Rantings and Ravings. I'm your host, Alvina Gachugu. Before the break, I told you what I think about mediocrity. And it's not enough to just tell you what I think. I'd like to hear what you think too. So remember to engage in the conversation. Twitter at Alvina Gachugu, Instagram at Alvina Gachugu, Facebook, my page is Alvina Gachugu. Without much further ado, I'd like to show you the fail video of the day in relation to mediocrity. Have a look at this. Fail videos stroke videos of the day.
Yeah! I know, bro.
Did you see that? I know I said the fail video of the day, but yeah, fail video stroke videos of the day. Oh my, no, let's just look at this again. No, wait, 1 minute. My word on that is, if you want to jump high. After jumping high, jump really, really high. And make sure you complete the jump. Remember, we don't believe in mediocrity. So you started the jump, finish it. Enough of that. Let's look at this few facts here. Tell me if they're true or false. I love to call this the FTF. First fact. Tell me what you think, whether it is true or false, T or F. Bangladesh has more people than Russia. What do you think? Just imagine the two countries and their different sizes and tell me what you think. For today, I'm gonna help you. Next time, I want you to tell me what you think, whether these things are true or they are false. It is true, Bangladesh actually has more people than Russia. Can you imagine Russia, how it spans 9 time zones and is bigger than the surface area of Pluto? And tiny Bangladesh, really tiny, just a bit bigger than the state of New York City, has 156.6 million people, whereas Russia has 143.5 million people. So yes, Bangladesh has more people than Russia. Clearly they don't believe in mediocrity. If you're good at something, do it. Reminds me of a quote I read at some point that said that humans love to do something as long as it's pleasurable and they can succeed at it. This is why the world population continues to double every 40 years. Moving on to fact number 2, true or false. A conman sold the Eiffel Tower almost twice. What do you think? Do you think it's possible for someone to come? Let's think of our Kenyan context. Someone come and tell you, I'm selling the Times Tower or I'm selling the KICC. What do you think? I'd like to know. Hit me up in the comments. What have you thought? If you've guessed true, you're right. a conman actually tried to sell the Eiffel Tower. It had been said that the Eiffel Tower was to stand for only 20 years because it was becoming expensive to carry on maintenance and to be able to look after it. So we have this conman, he was one of the greatest conmen in history. His name is Count Victor Lustig, and he managed to convince 6 scrap metal dealers that he was operating under a hush-hush government deal to sell the Eiffel Tower, and even convinced them that he could be bribed. And one of the dealers actually fell for it, paid him $20,000 and an additional $50,000 bribe so that his could be the winning bid. After Lustig received this money, he went on to Austria to lay low because he thought that they had reported him to the police. But then the dealer didn't tell on him because he was embarrassed. It reminds me of the first time I got conned by, I don't know who conned me actually, but I remember the first time I got conned out of credit. And I later found out through my mom, it's people who normally maybe in committee, they try to get credit from unsuspecting, naive people like I was at the time. And that's the day I found out how to sambaza. It was *140 amount number hash. At that time, I just wrote 100 and my 100 shillings went just like that. So we have many Lustigs in our day and age. And actually, Lustig fled to the US and he was finally caught. He was very business-minded. I'm just imagining you're there and you think of a building that has stood for many years, but you think of selling it and you actually have that power to convince someone that can buy it from you. Clearly, Lustig did not believe in mediocrity. If you're a conman, go all the way. If you're a pickpocket, go all the way. Don't pocket small things. Wait, no. Moving on swiftly to the third fact of the day. Do you think it's true? Do you think it's false? Number 3, TF. There are more synapses or nerve connections in your brains than there are stars in our galaxy. Guess, true or false? If you guess true, you're right. Can you imagine the number of stars in our galaxy? We see so many small specks, so many beautiful specks in the sky. We can't even count them. But then neuroscientists say that the average synapses in an average 3-year-old is close to 1 quadrillion. I didn't even know such a number existed. And then as you become an adult, a refining process occurs, leaving the number to half. That is 500 trillion. And you want to tell me with such a brain you want to settle on mediocrity? Come on, seriously? We can do great wonder. We don't use everything that we have. If we really use our talents to the maximum, then that is the day we start becoming nothing less than excellent. So imagine all those stars you see and imagine the intricate mechanisms, the functioning of your brain, and believe in yourself today. And I hope you feel inspired. And without much further ado, let's take a look at this video. Tell me what you think is wrong with this video. I will tell you what's wrong with that video. How annoyingly cute it is. Oh my God. When all has been said and done, it's good to finish with a smile and a cute video. I'll see you. Thank you so much for watching Rantings and Ravings. I've been your host, Alvina Gachugu. And remember, I want to hear your thoughts on these matters. Engage with me. The conversation on Twitter at Alvina Gachugu, Instagram at Alvina Gachugu, Facebook, my page is Alvina Gachugu. Those things that anger you, those things that we settle for, those things that really get on your nerves. Let's talk about them and let's see if we can find a solution. Thank you for watching and I look forward to seeing you next time. Remember rule number 5, always watch Rantings and Ravings. Ciao. Starting February 21st, 2015, shorter episodes of Rantings and Ravings can be viewed on YouTube every Wednesday and Saturday. Just search for Alvina Gachugu and don't forget to subscribe.